How many of you remember a show called Beast Wars? It was kind of like Transformers, but instead of turning into like trucks and airplanes and stuff, it was big robots that turned into animal robots. It was pretty sweet. And if it doesn't ring a bell, I don't blame you because it didn't get too big, but the toys were freaking awesome. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I was recently contacted by a company called Newisland who wanted to send me something called DinoBots. Dinosaur transforming foam blasters that if you get all 5 of them turn into the cool Dino King. That's an actual quote. The cool Dino King. A big kind of Megazord looking dude. And I was like, these look like a lot of fun, so yeah, I'll check them out. And we're going to be checking out the Pterosaur and the Triceratops. And before we begin, I feel it necessary to say that I did not buy these. These were sent to me from Newisland, but that does not affect my opinions, criticisms, remarks, reviews, whatever it is in this video. Just feel like I have to say that every time someone sends me something. But with that said, let's check out DinoBots. Inside your box, you get your instructions. You get a shooting target that has a little piece at the top to hang it up on something. You get darts. The one for the Triceratops are in all gray, and the ones for the other one are kind of like the elite Nerf stuff with a blue and orange. And you get the blaster itself, and for its size, it does have some weight to it because these are actually made with die-cast parts, which is pretty cool. So the boxes come with your DinoBots in their blaster form, so if you're just getting them for mostly the dart shooting aspect, you really don't want to transform them, I guess that's okay. But I think now would be a good time to show you how to transform them from dart gun to dinosaur, and then from dinosaur back into dart gun, and then we can go over, you know, the ergonomics, how they feel, how they shoot, and all that good stuff. But let's go over transforming really quick. Alright, I have the 2 blasters right here, ready to turn into their dinosaur counterparts. And I'm not going to go through this step by step because there are quite a lot of instructions. So I'm just going to do one of those like Lego commercial speed up kind of things. And we're going to start with the Triceratops. This is the Triceratops. It looks like a Triceratops. It has some neon-y see-through bits to it. It stands up on its own. You can, you know, play around with it. But yeah, there we go. Now let's turn the other one into its dinosaur counterpart. There we have the Pterosaur, which is kind of like a pterodactyl of sorts. Looks pretty good. Lots of details on this one. A little bit more detailed than I would say the Triceratops. But yeah, they don't look too bad. Definitely something I would say kids would really enjoy. You know, having their little mech robots that they can, you know, fight each other with and do all that stuff. Now let's change them back to their dart blasters and see how well those perform. And there we have it back in blaster form, and it was much easier to do putting it back into blaster form because I kind of knew where everything was going to go. But yeah, let's do the Triceratops now. And there you have it, the Triceratops in its blaster form. Just like with the Pterosaur, easy to do once you kind of know where parts go, how they flip around and stuff. But this one's definitely a bit more complicated than this one because of all the little compartment areas and more flipping that you have to do. But with both of these in their blaster forms, let's check them out as the blasters because I know that's what you all are interested in. Before I get into the shooting part of the video, I thought I'd go over the pistol form of the toys very quickly and give you an idea of what all is there. So both of these are semi-small pistols in their pistol forms, and they use a pullback prime and then just a normal trigger pull to fire off a single dart. There are no tack rails, there's no dart holders or anything like that, just a very simple basic pistol design. Now, as I said earlier, the blasters do incorporate some die-cast parts, and from a quick little overview, the only place I could find that really says die-cast metal is in the grip. They get cold if you don't play with them for a while, and you can definitely feel there's some strength there being from the metal. And the grips are very, very comfortable. Even for my larger hands, they fit very nicely, and the trigger pulls are quite nice. While the grips and the triggers are very comfortable, there is one thing about both of these blasters that really throw the whole comfort thing off, and that is the prime. It uses a top sliding prime like the strong arm, but it is definitely not as comfortable as the strong arm. For the Pterosaur, this little bit right here that the legs kind of pop and lock into place into loves to dig into my ring finger, and it just doesn't feel good. The angles all over this, this little bit causing you to either have to put your thumb on the top or the bottom, it's just not a pleasant experience. With the Triceratops, it's not as bad, but this scoop does make it a bit uncomfortable. You can see how large that slide prime area is, so I guess you could get a better grip on it, but compared to the strong arm, both of these fall flat in the prime comfort area, just because they have to be like futuristic-y dinosaurs and they have to kind of keep that whole look going. I guess if you had littler hands, it'd be easier, like especially if I do it like that. But for those of us with larger hands, you're gonna have a lot of angles digging into them. But other than that, the blasters are very, very comfortable overall. But with that said, let's take these outside and see them shoot. So now it's time to go over the blaster, the price, who this is for, and whether or not I think it's worth your money. The Pterosaur is $19.99 and the Triceratops is $22.99, which pushes both of these into a realm that makes me want to say, is it really worth that much? Yes, it has die-cast parts in it. Yes, it's cool the way it transforms and stuff, but is it really worth that much? These aren't really meant for me, or I'm sure most of you. These are meant for kids who like transforming toys, who like Transformers, maybe people who are into Beast Wars, but that was a long time ago. But transforming toys who also want something that shoots darts. It's two cool things put into one, which I can get having a higher price for. Now, as you saw, these blasters don't shoot as far as, say, a Nerf blaster does, which I've always attributed to more of an outdoor thing. Shoot each other from behind bushes, or shoot down from a treehouse to your friends who are in the grassy area, stuff like that. The more I play with these, the more they feel like an indoor toy, something you get in the living room carpet. You dinosaur fight them for a little bit, and then you transform them into their blaster form and shoot at each other from, say, behind the couches or a few doors down from each other. These are definitely what I feel are indoor toys. Now, does the price really represent that? The price is really dependent on who wants to buy it. It's going to be expensive for some people, and it's going to be within budget for others. And you do have to remember that if you get all 5 of these, they transform into the Dino King, which adds a fun kind of gimmick to the collect them all idea. So I'm not the best person to ask about prices, but if you think they are worth buying, I will have a link in the description with some discount codes from New Island. So if you're interested in getting one of these for yourself, or maybe for someone else, go check them out down there. And there you have it. That was a shooting demonstration, overview, review, look at, unboxing, whatever you want to call it, of the Pterosaur and Triceratops DinoBots Robot Blaster. Is that what it's called? Robot Blaster, I got it this time, from New Island, who were kind enough to send these my way. I hope you enjoyed this look at of an interesting toy. They are kind of interesting. Transforming stuff is cool. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have a great day wherever you are.